Kumusta kayo, mga kaibigan dito po sa Malaysia, mga kababayan ko dito sa Malaysia, particularly dito sa Sabah. Ito po si Nico Fabian once again, nandito po sa programa natin NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. And of course, during the program, I'm going to share with you ano-ano mga latest breaking news or updates tungkol sa political activities dyan sa Pilipinas. And dahil mahal na mahal ako po sa inyong lahat ng mga countrymen ko, mga kababayan ko dito po sa Sabah. And nandito po ang NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. Para at least I will inform you kung anong mga latest developments tungkol sa mga issues sa Pilipinas. Particularly itong impeachment ni Inday Sara Duterte. Tuloy ba ito or hindi? Ano nangyari? Pointing fingers na sila ngayon. Sino may kasalanan? Sino walang kasalanan? Sabi ang isa, kayo ang na-delay ang impeachment trial ni Inday Sara Duterte. Sabi naman ang kabila na baka takot ka kay Inday Sara Duterte. Ano talaga ang totoo po? No? Itong mga kwento-kwento, mga istorya po. And medyo naguluhan na po ang mga Filipinos tungkol itong impeachment ni Inday Sara Duterte. One, it is because the issue of ma-expire na ang sabihin natin ang duties ng 19th Congress, and we are now coming into the 20th Congress kasi bago lang po natapos ang midterm election, and mayroon na po ang mga bagong elected congressmen and elected senators po for 2025 for another 3 years po. So, dahil ito po, may kunting problema tayo, or hindi kunting problema, malaking problema ito po, especially tungkol sa impeachment ni Inday Sara Duterte. Matuloy ba ito o hindi? Hindi natin alam po. Tingnan natin, hintayin natin hanggang sa June 11, ang schedule ng reading of articles of impeachment po. And from there, we were made to understand na ang mga senador, ang members ng Congress will be voting, and they will make a decision whether i-drop ba ang impeachment trial ni Inday Sara Duterte or tuloy po ang impeachment trial ni Inday Sara Duterte. Let's wait po next week, no? Next week na ito, June 11. And after June 11 po, tapos na ang session ng Kamara, although mag-expire ang duties nila po sa June 30 pa yata, no? Sa June 30, pero wala nang session po. They are not going to hold any session after June 13, after June 13. Sa 11 yun po. And the following day, bakit hindi na matuloy? Dahil holiday po ang Pilipinas. Bakit holiday ang Pilipinas? Dahil po holiday ang Pilipinas because we will be celebrating our 127th Independence Day po ng Pilipinas. So that is the reason why, no? That is the reason why. So stick lang kayo po dito sa programa natin, NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico, because later on I'll be sharing with you some video clips po, no? Video clips regarding itong issue ni Inday Sara Duterte or ang issue ng impeachment trial. And of course, during this program, now is June 3rd na, June 3 na, Tuesday, I will be sharing with you muna po ang top 10 countries supporting si former President Tatay Digong or Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Sino-sino ba mga nasyon who is supporting until now? Until now, ang legasiya, ang performance ni Tatay Digong po when he was the president since 2016 hanggang 2022 po, no? After that, si Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Already became the president of the Philippines, and that was during the May 2022 election. So there are still a lot of countries who supporting Tatay Digong despite him no longer being the president, and they appreciated ang style of leadership of Tatay Digong. And later on, I'm going to share with you and give you the informations. Ang 10 top countries supporting ang legasiya, ang trabaho ni Tatay Digong even until now, despite him being nandyan po under the custody of the International Criminal Court, which he will be facing ang complaints against crime against humanity po. Yun, during the time ang war against drug which Tatay Digong implemented or enforced when he was the president. Karamihan ng mga tao po, they appreciated ang drug war ni Tatay Digong, but there are other people, group of people, politicians, na they also disagree. Sabi nila, violation of human rights. Violation of human rights. But anyway, I will share with you that video clip later on. In the meantime, let me share with you itong news article which I got it from ABS-CBN online, online news article. And the title of this news article is Scared of Sarah or Protecting Sarah? She's answers. Yun po ang issue. Kaya nga, I am doing itong vlogging ko tonight. Normally, I would do it either in the morning or in the afternoon po. But this time, yesterday and today, I would do it in the evening dahil po I am monitoring ang session ng Kongreso and Senate po yesterday and today. But at least I can give you the latest developments po. Especially when talking about the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte, which is a very big question mark now. Tuloy ba ito or hindi? Tuloy ba ito o hindi? So nandito po, I will read to you ang news article. I got it from ABS-CBN. Nandito po ang detalles. Senate President Francis Escudero parried off accusation that the Senate is either afraid of or is protecting Vice President Sara Duterte by delaying her impeachment trial. Escudero said the House of Representatives also delayed transmitting the complaint. Escudero maintained that neither side gained nor lost points by delaying the trial. Escudero added that convening the impeachment court will also be subject to the vote of the Senate. Escudero said there was no motion on Monday or last Monday because the agreement was to decide on it on June 11. As if the vote of senators can override its constitutional mandate, Escudero answered in the negative, but he also maintained that it is a matter of perspective. Even a matter of the 20th Congress Senate, trying to impeach filed in the 19th Congress will be subject to a vote. Ibig sabihin po, during June 11, they are going to discuss thoroughly, and at the same time, they are going to conduct a voting po whether ano ang desisyon ng plenary. Hindi ang desisyon ng Senate President, but ang desisyon ng Senado. It would be put into vote at the right time. It would be put into a vote. It will be put into a vote. John ang sabi ni Chief Escudero. However, he said that the 19th Congress ruling won't be binding on the 20th Congress. So, yun po. Ang latest updates regarding ang issue ng impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte po. Now they are pointing fingers, and sabi ni Senate President Senator Francis Chis Escudero sabi niya, from the very beginning, it was the camera who delayed ang process or filing of the submitting of the impeachment complaint sa Senado, which they did it at the last day of the Senate prior na suspend na po ang session ng Senado po kasi mag-umpisa na po ang midterm election campaign, and mag-recess na sila po. So kung ano lang po, sana sabi ni Chis Escudero, kung they submitted earlier to the Senate ang documents of impeachment complaint, now the Senate should have look into it and convene the impeachment trial of Inday Sara Duterte. However, it did not happen. They submitted, ang Kongreso submitted the documents of impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte last minute or 11th hour na po bago na-suspend na ang session ng Senado po. So, that is the issue now. And of course, June 2nd, kahapon, dapat sana po, schedule dyan po ang reading of articles of impeachment. But days before June 2nd, nag-announce din si Senator Chis Escudero, ang Senate President, that it is now, or they decided to move the date to June 11. So June 11 po, ang schedule of reading of articles of impeachment. But before that, they are going to discuss, ang Senado will be going to thoroughly discuss the issue, and we were made to understand, mayroon pa yun po voting. Kung matuloy ba po, i-drop ba yun ang impeachment or hindi. Depende na yan po ngayon sa plenary ng Senado. Kasi they will be discussing it thoroughly. So ito po ang latest developments natin tungkol sa impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte. However, sabi naman ni Inday Sara Duterte, wala siyang problema anytime. And in fact, she's the one who is saying that is more than willing to face the her impeachment trial. And sabi ni Inday Sara Duterte, is less bothered kung ano ang resulta ng impeachment trial. Either convicted or acquittal. Yun po ang gusto ni Inday Sara Duterte ituloy. But ang mga supporters ni Inday Sara Duterte, both sa Kongreso at saka sa Senado, they are saying technically hindi na dapat proceed ang impeachment ni Inday Sara Duterte dahil po ang dami pang problema ang Pilipinas. Instead spending money, time, and efforts dyan po sa impeachment trial ni Inday Sara Duterte, mas mabuti pa po ang gobyerno, ang Senado, ang Kongreso to look into the numerous problems that the country is facing now. Yun po ang should be given priority. But anyway, let's see sa June 11. So, let me share with you itong report. Itong report po, no? Itong report na tungkol sa impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte. Hold on, ha? Sandali. Saan ba ito? Okay. Let's listen to this.
Senate President Chis Escudero ang sisi sa Kamara sa pagkakaurong ng pagbasa ng articles of impeachment at pagtunggi ng Senado bilang impeachment court naman kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Giit ni Escudero, 4 na buwan na inupuan ng mga kongresista ang impeachment complaint mula nang inihain ito at hindi na naman daw nila ito inaksyonan agad. Kaya hindi raw pwedeng pamadaliin daw sila ng mga kongresista kapag gusto lamang nila. Sabi pa ni Escudero, ginagawa niya lang ang kanyang trabaho bilang Senate President at susundin lamang niya ang naaayon sa batas. Narito ang kanyang pahayag.
Pwede bang irally ko rin sila ng 4 na buwan o hindi nila inaksyonan ng impeachment complaint kung sila mismo ay hindi nagmadali? Inupuan at pabanjing-banjing sa mahabang panahon. Sino naman sila para madaliin kami ngayon?
At Camille, ano ang desisyon ng Senado? Itatawid ba ang impeachment trial sa 20th Congress? Paano mangyayari ngayon?
Ayon kay SP Escudero, pagpupuntuhan pa raw yan ng mga senador ng 19th Congress sa plenaryo kung maitatawid nga ba itong impeachment sa 20th Congress. Nakadepende na lamang daw yan kung ano ang ilan yung mopasyon sa plenaryo. Kay Escudero, mahalaga raw kasi na lahat ng bagay ay dumadaan at magbubutongan sa plenaryo. Pero pag hindi na may Escudero, nakasalanan pa rin niya sa 20th Congress kung sasamparin sila o kung ibabaguhin sila sa napagdesisyonan ng 19th Congress. Narito ang kanyang pahayag.
At the right time, it will be put to a vote. Ano man ang pagpasahan namin, hindi pwedeng itali ang kamay ng susunod na Kongreso. So yung susunod na Kongreso, ano man ang gawin namin, wala mang kaming gawin. Pwede mangyari yan, pagpasahan yung parehong issue pa rin. So, depende sa mangyayari.
At ano naman ang reaksyon ni Senator Escudero sa mga nagsasabing takot siya kay VP Sara?
Alam mo, Jiggy, hindi lang kulayan ni SP Escudero. Ang sabi niya lang ay gagawin niya lang yung tama at kung ano nakasaad sa batas, sino man ang paboran at tamaan. Bilang leader nga doon ng Senado, responsibilidad niya na tumutulong sa trabaho at maging pantay sa lahat at matiyakan na ayon sa batas ang lahat ng ginagawa ng Senado. Jiggy.
Alright, yan po ang report that I want to share with all of you po, no? Dito sa programa natin tungkol itong hot issue po yan sa Pilipinas, ang impeachment ni Inday Sara Duterte. Narinig natin po ang side ni Chis Escudero or SP Chis Escudero tungkol sa mga issues na takot daw siya kay, may question dyan kung takot siya kay Inday Sara Duterte. Or yun, ang delay po, which SP Escudero is saying na from the very beginning, ang Kongreso po na delay ang submission of the impeachment complaint sa Senado. Sa Senado. So, yun po ang issue and that is the reason why nakita natin po ngayon ang problema, delay and not delay. Push or not push. Ang impeachment file ni Inday Sara Duterte. But anyway, I will, as what I said, nandito lang ako po to monitor ang situation dyan sa Pilipinas and any updates mayroon tayo po, I'll make sure that you will be properly informed. Nandito po ang video clip din po ng Makabayan Block, ang kontra, ang kontra kay Inday Sara Duterte, sila outgoing Congresswoman Castro, and ang Representative Roel Manuel and ang mga followers and leaders nila po, both outgoing and incoming congressmen. Nandito po, let's listen to this.
Sa ating Senate President, no? So, ang tanong ko dito, sino ba yung pinoproteksyonan mo sa ganyang sinasabi mo? Taong bayan ba? O si Sara Duterte? Kinundena ng mga nagrereklamo at endorser ng impeachment complaint ang patuloy na pagkakaantala ng impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Naniniwala ang Makabayan Block lawmakers, endorsers sa ikalawang impeachment complaint at kabilang din sa mga lumagda sa articles of impeachment na inihain. Nagdadahilan na lang ang Senado para mabinbin ang proseso ng impeachment. Tanong tuloy nila, sino ba ang pinoprotektahan? Si VP Sara, ang pansariling interes o ang taong bayan?
Well, something fishy, no? Gumagante. May pinoproteksyonan talaga sa nangyayaring yan. At nakikita natin na paghahanda na ito doon sa mga gusto nilang mga position ba o sa 2028, etc. Kaya unahin nyo naman for the first time ang taong bayan at huwag yung mga personal na mga interest nyo.
Gate din ng mga ito, pangunahing hadlang sa impeachment proceedings si Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Sa gitna ito ng pahayag sa publiko ni PBBM na ayaw niya sa isinusulong na impeachment laban kay VP Sara.
Para sa mga senador at sa presidente na humaharang sa impeachment trial, maliit na bagay lang ba ang 612.5 million na confidential funds? Nasanay na ba sila sa korupsyon? Kaya parang wala lang sa kanila ang maraming lumabas na ebidensya ng paglistay ng impeached Vice President sa pera ng bayan.
Si Akbay Party List Representative Percy Sendanya naman may patutsyada rin kay Senate President Francis Escudero. Kasunod ito ng pagpapalibas sa presentation ng Articles of Impeachment mula June 2 sa June 11.
The public wants a trial. Even the impeached Vice President herself has signaled a willingness para harapin ito. So anong pumipigil sa Senado? Natatakot ba ang liderato kay Sara? Every day of delay sends the message that the Senate leadership is either afraid of Vice President Sara Duterte or worse, actively protecting her. Kaya nga ang tanong natin, natatakot ba kayo kay Sara Duterte o pinoprotektahan niyo siya?
Tugon naman ni Senate President Escudero.
Ginagawa namin kung ano ang trabaho namin. Yung mga ganyang uri ng komentaryo at pahit, at yung mga ganyang uri ng komentaryo, klaro nang gagaling sa kampo na tutol kay VP Sara at pabor sa impeachment.
Samantala, kinontra naman human rights lawyer, Bayan Muna Chairperson Nery Colmenares ang posisyon ni Senator Francis Tolentino na hindi maaaring tumawid sa 20th Congress ang impeachment trial ni VP Duterte.
They're not passing a law here. They're actually holding in trial an impeachment official. That's the first. Kaya hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yung rules ng legislative process nyo doon sa impeachment.
Magpapatuloy ang pagkilos ng mga grupong ito upang talampagin ang Senado na ipagpatuloy ang impeachment proceedings laban kay VP Sara. Rosa Licos.
Okay, yan po ang sentiment, ang reaksyon ng mga opposition lawmakers po dyan po sa Kongreso, House of Representatives. Expected naman po, no? Expected, that's the way ang tono nila, no? About the impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte. Alright, this time around, I will share with you another video clip regarding ang interview sa kanya, no? One of the election lawyer ito po, matadino ito po, si Tony Romulo Macadintal, no? And yesterday I also shared with you itong explanation ni Attorney Romulo Macadintal. And for your information lang po, as mag-recollect lang tayo ang statement ni Attorney Romulo, nandito po ang video clip that I want to share with you. Let's listen to this interview by the mainstream media dyan po sa Manila kanina.
Ang magiging issue ngayon ay pwede bang itawid yan? Yun.
Boses ni Attorney Romulo.
Ngayon, na siguro dapat malaman ng taong bayan at tinatawag ng 19th Congress ngayon. Itatawid ngayon yan doon sa susunod sa 20th Congress. Ang tanong yan ba ay po pwede bang itawid? Kasi sa akin kasi merong rules ang Senado na sinasabi na yung old Senate, lahat ng mga pending matters and proceedings, yung words sila ginamit all pending matters and proceedings shall be terminated upon the termination of the Congress. But the incoming Congress, in this case, the incoming Senate, will take up the matter as if presented for the first time. Para bang pwede pa rin tingnan nila, ibalik. Pero ituturing yan na bagong kaso. So, kung ito ay bagong kaso, itong impeachment na ito, may issue ngayon, kung bago ito, di pangalawa na ito. Kaya ito ilalabag sa saligang batas na nagsasabi na hindi po pwedeng magkaroon ng dalawang impeachment cases ang isang impeachable official sa loob ng isang taon.
Magkaiba ba ang rules ng Senate at saka ng Congress?
Well, pag sinabi natin sa Congress, divided yan, di ba?
Yes.
House of Rep at saka Senado.
Yes.
Magkaiba ang Senate, di ba? Ang House,
Magkaiba ang rules.
magkaiba ang mga rules nila, Kaya may kani-kanina sila mga rules. Kaya yung mga rules nila, pinapublish yan is being published. Ngayon, yung i-issue whether or not it can cross over or be carried over by the next, by the incoming Senate, hindi pa nadedesisyonan ng Korte Suprema, wala pa tayong kaso tungkol sa bagay na yan. Kaya nga sinasabi ko nga noon, at ito din sinabi ng Korte Suprema, yung bago lang ito, yung sa Banag versus Senate of the Philippines,
Senado ay continuing body, bakit mayroong ganyang provision na all matters shall be terminated at the end of that Senate? O, bakit mayroong ganun? Bakit mag-terminate? Bakit hindi lang sinabi na all pending matters shall be carried over the rest of the Senate? Teka muna, Pedro. Attorney, yung impeachment, hindi naman lawmaking yun eh. Well, wala namang distinction na doon sa all matters. All matters eh. All matters. Sino magsasabi na yan eh? Kasi sinasabi nga ng iba, hindi naman yan legislation. Sino nagsasabi? Bakit yung sasabihin hindi? Kayo ang gumawa ng rules, all matters.
Yeah, correct. All matters po, no? All matters. All matters. Yan ang catching word dyan po. All matters. Wala naman specification. Sabi na legislative issues lang po. No? And ang impeachment is a different case. Ang law says all matters. Pagkatapos ang mag-expire na ang Kongreso, ang Senate po, from 19 Congress to the 20th Congress, so mag-start na naman po a new po o bago na naman. Now, in the event, mag-file na naman sila ng impeachment trial against Inday Sara Duterte. Now, it will violate ang ruling nila po because isa lang po impeachment. A complaint can be done in 1 year. In 1 year po. No? And sabi naman ni Chis Escudero, ito mga issue po, sabi niya hindi pa nga nag-start. Nag-take ng oath ang mga Senate judges po. Hindi pa nag-umpisa ang impeachment. So, pwede pa rin yan po. Kung may motion to drop ang impeachment trial ni Inday Sara Duterte, there is a possibility na ang Senado will decide or vote positively po to drop ang impeachment trial ni Inday Sara Duterte. Depende lang po. Let's see sa June 11. Sa June 11 next week na yun po. Let's see. And don't worry, I'm going to make sure that mga kababayan ko po dito sa Kota Kinabalu or dito sa Sabah, you will be properly informed. Once I will get the updates regarding this issue. Alright? So, okay. This time around, I would like to share with you, as I promised earlier, na I'm going to share with you ang top 10 na countries supporting kay former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ano yung mga countries po na hanggang ngayon, nandyan sila po behind kay Tatay Digong, despite that Tatay Digong is no longer the President of the Philippines, and despite that Tatay Digong nasa kustodiya ng International Criminal Court and facing itong complaint crimes against humanity po, no? Against humanity. And nandito po ang top 10 countries. Top 10 lang ito po. Ibig sabihin, marami pa mga nation who are supporting kay Tatay Digong. So let's listen. Let's watch and listen itong report. Nandito po.
And on our list is Nicaragua, a country that shares Duterte's defiance of Western political pressure. Under President Daniel Ortega, Nicaragua has consistently opposed U.S.-led criticisms at global institutions like the United Nations. During Duterte's administration, Nicaragua voted alongside the Philippines in key international sessions, defending national sovereignty over external intervention. While the two nations aren't deeply connected economically, their shared ideology prioritizing domestic control over global expectations puts Nicaragua on this list in 2025 as a symbolic ally of Duterte's legacy. At number 9 is Turkey, where President Erdogan's leadership continues to mirror some of Duterte's methods. Both leaders emphasized law and order governance, national pride, and resisting foreign interference, although not loudly vocal in support. Turkey has consistently avoided criticism of Duterte's human rights record and drug war. In 2025, Ankara still fosters
fosters quiet diplomatic relations with Duterte-aligned figures and maintains its admiration for strongman governance, earning it a place on this list. Number 8 goes to Pakistan, a nation that has long emphasized internal security, counterterrorism, and conservative governance. Throughout Duterte's term, Pakistan expressed support for his war on drugs and firm law enforcement, seeing parallels with its own internal challenges. While not widely publicized, diplomatic gestures and shared rhetoric at regional forums during his presidency showed a quiet respect that persists in 2025 through regional dialogues and policy alignment. Taking 7th place is Hungary, a country whose political direction under Prime Minister Viktor Orban closely mirrors Rodrigo Duterte's leadership style. Both leaders are known for challenging Western liberal norms and prioritizing national sovereignty over international pressure. While they may not share deep economic ties, Hungary consistently avoided publicly criticizing Duterte's war on drugs, setting it apart from other European nations. By 2025, Hungarian media occasionally referenced Duterte's governance as a model that values cultural identity, border control, and firm leadership. This quiet ideological alignment continues to shape Hungary's sympathetic stance toward Duterte's legacy. At number 6 is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a long-standing economic and labor partner of the Philippines during and after Duterte's presidency. The kingdom refrained from criticizing Duterte's domestic policies, focusing instead on his efforts to protect the welfare of millions of overseas Filipino workers. His administration prioritized worker safety and repatriation, which earned quiet praise from Saudi officials. In 2025, that goodwill still carries weight. Several Filipino political figures aligned with Duterte continue to maintain strong diplomatic engagement with Saudi Arabia, reflecting a relationship built on mutual respect and shared labor interests. The kingdom also continues to support labor reforms first introduced under Duterte's administration. This enduring collaboration reinforces the trust built during his time in office. Number 5 on our list is Indonesia, a neighboring country with similar strategies in handling drug-related crimes and national discipline. Indonesia's history of enforcing the death penalty for drug offenses shaped its understanding of Duterte's war on drugs. Rather than condemn it, Indonesia signaled support through ASEAN's cooperative frameworks, stressing regional sovereignty and law enforcement. By 2025, this bond remains intact. Quiet diplomacy and continued coordination on border security and crime prevention reflect Indonesia's ongoing respect for Duterte's firm governance style. Indonesian analysts still cite Duterte's policies as examples of decisive leadership in Southeast Asia. This shared approach to discipline and order has strengthened mutual trust over the years. At number 4 is the United Arab Emirates. The UAE welcomed Duterte's firm stance on protecting migrant workers and fostering economic independence. His administration established key labor agreements and development projects that benefited both nations. Even in 2025, these initiatives are still active. Emirati leaders continue to engage with Duterte-aligned politicians, maintaining warm relations rooted in shared economic goals and migrant protection. Cultural exchanges and bilateral business forums have also grown, thanks to diplomatic groundwork laid during Duterte's term. This reflects a lasting appreciation for his international engagement. Vietnam takes the 3rd spot, thanks to its strategic alignment with Duterte's approach to regional diplomacy, pragmatism, and sovereignty-first governance. Although Vietnam and the Philippines had territorial disputes in the South China Sea, Duterte avoided escalating tensions. Instead of confrontation, he favored dialogue and cooperation through ASEAN mechanisms. This approach was viewed favorably in Hanoi, which appreciated his commitment to regional unity over external intervention. Vietnamese officials respected Duterte's balance between asserting national interest and preserving regional peace. In a region sensitive to great power competition, his non-aligned posture resonated with Vietnam's own foreign policy strategy. By 2025, Vietnamese media and diplomats occasionally referenced Duterte's leadership as an example of steady, calculated decision-making. His legacy continues to influence how Vietnam engages with ASEAN partners and larger powers alike. Russia is holding the second spot, one of the few global powers with which Duterte built a deeply ideological and strategic connection. From the start of his presidency, Duterte made clear his admiration for Russian President Vladimir Putin, often calling him a model of strong leadership. This mutual respect translated into deeper defense cooperation, including visits, arms deals, and training exchanges between Russian and Filipino forces. What made the Duterte-Russia connection unique was their shared defiance of Western criticism, particularly regarding internal policies and human rights. Both countries often rejected what they considered Western hypocrisy and instead emphasized sovereignty and state control. In 2025, Russian state media continues to highlight Duterte as a global example of bold, independent governance. Russian diplomats maintain warm ties with several Philippine political figures associated with Duterte, reinforcing a partnership grounded in shared views on power, order, and resistance to Western pressure. At number one, perhaps the most surprising of all, is China, the most prominent and enduring international supporter of Rodrigo Duterte in 2025. Many expected China to remain a rival due to the ongoing maritime disputes in the South China Sea. Yet Duterte took a radically different path. Instead of confrontation, he chose diplomacy, shifting Philippine foreign policy away from traditional Western allies and toward Beijing. Under his presidency, China pledged billions of dollars for infrastructure projects, poured investments into energy and telecommunications, and significantly increased high-level diplomatic visits. This pivot stunned both regional analysts and international observers. Duterte's decision to downplay the Philippines' legal victory over China in The Hague was controversial at home, but in Beijing, it was seen as a gesture of political maturity.
Okay, yun po, no? Ang top 10 countries supporting Tatay Digong or former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. And of course, the report also mentioned about China. And karamihan ng mga tao dito po sa Pilipinas, o dyan po sa Pilipinas, they know that China is one country, superpower, who during the time of Tatay Digong or President Rodrigo Roa Duterte came out to give financial assistance in the project of Tatay Digong, which they call it the Build program of Tatay Digong. Nandito po ang continuation ng report, and let's listen to this.
Cooperation over conflict. In 2025, Chinese media continues to refer to Duterte's time in office as a golden era in China-Philippines relations. His close allies are still invited to forums and dialogues, and diplomatic ties remain active with figures from his former administration. Of all the countries on this list, China's continued support for Duterte is the most complex, rooted in mutual benefit, strategic diplomacy, and a shared interest in resisting Western influence. It may be surprising, but it is also deeply calculated. While international support for Rodrigo Duterte may appear strong in specific circles, public opinion both within and outside the Philippines remains deeply divided. For some, Duterte represents firm leadership, national sovereignty, and a willingness to challenge global powers. To others, his legacy is marked by controversy, human rights concerns, and a departure from democratic norms. The countries listed in this video reflect government-level or strategic alignment, not necessarily the voice of their entire populations. In many of these nations, civil society groups, media commentators, and even opposition politicians continue to raise concerns about Duterte's policies. This contrast highlights the complex way power and influence operate across borders. Admiration from foreign governments does not always mirror the views of everyday people. Looking at this list, one one thing becomes clear. Rodrigo Duterte's influence did not end when he left office. His leadership style, foreign policy decisions, and unapologetic rhetoric continue to resonate with certain governments and political actors across the world. From regional neighbors like Vietnam and Indonesia to global players like China and Russia, Duterte has left behind more than just a domestic legacy. He's become a symbol of a certain kind of political identity. Whether one sees him as a bold reformer or a controversial strongman, his global imprint remains. This continued support in 2025 says as much about the international political climate as it does about Duterte himself. If this video challenged your perspective or gave you new insights, consider sharing it with others who are interested in global politics and international relations. And
Alright, yun po ang report which I managed to record, no? Para sa inyo ito po ang mga informations about Duterte, about countries who still continue to support ang polisiya ni Tatay Digong or former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. And based on reports since he stepped down as a president in 2022, now hanggang ngayon, ang trust rating ni Tatay Digong po masyadong mataas. Masyadong mataas. And karamihan ng mga tao, not only Filipinos, no? Not only Filipinos, they still remember, appreciate, and express support to the legacy, to the policy of Rodrigo Roa Duterte. In fact, if you notice, despite him being in the custody of the International Criminal Court po during his birthday, ang dami mga tao, not only Filipinos, but also foreigners, express their sympathy, express their support kay Tatay Digong, and they hope that Tatay Digong will, sabihin natin, be sent back home as soon as possible, if not too soon. Yon po ang sentimiento, yon po ang feelings ng mga Filipinos, both Filipinos as well as foreign personalities po or foreigners who believe that Tatay Digong did a good job when he was the president of the Philippines. So kayo po, how do you look at Tatay Digong? It's up to you po, no? Kayo nang bahala po. You have your own wisdom, you have your own mind to decide and make a conclusion or judge ang performance ni Tatay Digong. But based on the surveys, no, ang trust rating ni Tatay Digong hanggang ngayon po mataas pa rin po compared to the incumbent president Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. po, na decline na talaga ang trust and performance rating ng BBM. And the other thing that we notice, that ang trust rating and performance rating, ang Vice President ng Pilipinas, who is the daughter of Tatay Digong po, ganun pa rin po ang nasa uptrend pa rin po ang trust rating and performance rating ni Inday Sara Duterte. So with this, siguro hanggang dito na lang po tayo ang programa natin na NikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. But before I will conclude this episode, June 3rd, Tuesday po, I just want to announce sa mga Filipinos, no, dito sa Sabah, that may grupo dito po sa Sabah, sa Kota Kinabalu, that they are now organizing a dinner show, charity dinner show po dito sa Kota Kinabalu, to celebrate, in collaboration, to celebrate ang 127th Independence Day of the Philippines come June 12. More details I'm going to give you very soon po, no? Once I will get the details of the event. And this charity dinner, ang profit ng charity dinner, I was made to understand, will be given to an Filipino Alternative Center dito po, who is looking after or educating ang mga stateless children dito sa Sabah po, no? Especially originating coming from or ang originating ang mga parents nila po are Filipinos, yun, walang documents din po. So it will be a problem if these stateless children will not be educated. Definitely it will be a social problem in the future, and it is for this reason na ang Stairway of Hope, Filipino Alternative Center dito sa Kota Kinabalu po. They are doing this charity dinner po to help finance ang school, Alternative Center ng mga Filipinos po. Hindi lang mga Filipinos are welcome to attend educational classes, no? Diyan po sa Stairway to Hope, but also even Indonesians po and other nationalities na walang documents po. At least they will be receiving ang mga basic fundamentals of education po. So when they go back to the Philippines, for example, now whatever they learn here will be accredited or recognized by the schools in the Philippines, which is very good. We have a lot of Filipino alternative centers dito po. Mayroon tayo sa Kota Kinabalu, sa Likas. Mayroon tayo, if I'm not mistaken, sa Papar, sa Tuaran, sa Sandakan, sa Kiningaw, and other places in Sabah. So let us all support generously itong klaseng mga project, charity programs organized by our fellow countrymen po. And anyway, more details will be coming up very soon po, the moment I will get the informations po. So with this, once again, si Nico Fabian, I would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Tuesday, June 3rd, and tomorrow is June 4th na po. So, again, Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.